Hello everyone, my name is Devashish Roy. I'm the head of training and development at the Indian Cybersecurity Solutions, and I welcome you all to this special webinar today. And today's topic is a very important one, that is AWS SSO, single sign-on and identity federation, that is in the AWS IAM. So what is about the SSO and identity federation? Why do we use that? And what about the secure and seamless cloud access through this SSO? So let's begin. So we'll be talking about the AWS SSO and Identity Federation, and we'll explore the integration and management of single sign-on and identity federation within AWS environment. So what is AWS SSO, single sign-on? AWS single sign-on is a cloud-based service designed to streamline the management of access to multiple AWS accounts and various business applications by enabling users to sign in once. So let's say I want to access many devices, I want to access many sites, and I have to log in again, and again. So let's say in the Google, you are having different branches and you can have different say, portals inside the Google. Now, if you want to access, say, the networking portal, you have to log in once. Again, if you have to access something on cybersecurity, you have to log in one. Again, AI, you have to log in again. So that is definitely not good for you. It will take a lot of time. So what you can do, you can actually have a single login process. So if you log in once, then inside that you can have the leverage of all the services there. So that is the concept behind the single sign-on. Now AWS SSO provides a seamless experience. Definitely, it grants immediate access to all assigned resources while enhancing security and reducing the administrative overhead. So definitely the overhead on the administrative burden will be reduced if you implement this SSO. Now, what is identity federation in the IAM? Identity federation streamlines users' access by allowing users to authenticate once and gain access to multiple applications and services. So, to implement SSO, you have to go to the IAM federation. So the federation service, it is inside the IAM. Now, it eliminates the need for managing multiple credentials and simplifies the identity management for organizations across various platforms. It can be different cloud resources also. It can be AWS, Azure, different cloud. Now, it can be, say, there are different vendors that are collaborating in a mixed cloud environment. So there also you have this federation services. This is federation trust that we say. Now, what are the benefits of AWS SSO? Centralized user access control. Everything is managed within that IAM user. Like we create IAM user in groups, the same way we actually manage this centralized user access control. Streamlined authentication process. So your authentication will also be streamlined and also be centralized. So definitely your authentication will include the multi-factor authentication, MFA. Reduce password management issues and cost savings on identity management. So all these things are benefits of the AWS SSO. Then what are the key features of AWS SSO? First of all, user-friendly access portal, because it is user-friendly because there you can find services easily. So definitely if you have to log in again and again, that is definitely not user-friendly because it will take a lot of time. So you have to do the single sign-on. Say you will see many services, like you will actually log into cisco.com. Say you want to download the packet tracer. Now you will sign in only once, and you can actually sign in to download the packet tracer. You can sign in to have some, say, lectures or some videos on the Cisco portal, like the Cisco U they have. So that is a single sign-on. Now, seamless AWS organization support is there. Interoperability with SAML and OIDC. These are the protocols, these are the standards you have. So you can actually have the federation trust with these protocols. And robust MFA, multi-factor authentication capabilities. Now you have to understand identity providers, IDP. IDPs play a crucial role in identity federation by securely storing the user credentials and managing authentication process. So security is there so that it stores the credentials in a way that it is maintained securely. And by integrating with AWS SSO, organizations can streamline user access to applications actually while maintaining robust security protocols. So your security protocols will also be there to streamline your organization's security posture. Now let's understand how the AWS SSO works. So we'll understand the step-by-step process of AWS single sign-on and its integration with identity federation. First of all, user authentication. So user authenticate through their chosen identity provider or IDP, and it ensures that secure access to applications are there. So every application you have to sign in once because you choose the identity provider. Then token generation, the IDP generates a security token. Like if you go for the Kerberos authentication, like that, it generates a token upon successful authentication, which serves as proof of user identity. Then access provisioning, AWS SSO uses a generated token, that is a ticket, to provision access to the appropriate resource and applications for the user. So that is like the TGT that is used in the case of the Kerberos, the ticket granting ticket. So that way the ticket actually provides the user access to the resources. Then configuring AWS SSO, a structured approach is there to set up AWS single sign-on and integrating identity federation. Step one is enable AWS SSO. So you have to access the AWS management console and activate AWS SSO for organizations. You have to go to the identity management and you have to say upload the say file or an XML file to be uploaded. I'm going to show you in a moment. Step two is select identity source. So you have to decide whether to use AWS SSO as the identity source or integrate with an external identity provider. So if it is an external trust, if it is a federated trust, or if you are doing it within the AWS organization, that is the question. So you have the option of both so that you can do. Step three is configure user access. Definitely, you have to give some access to the user, set up user roles, permissions, and access policies actually to ensure secure and streamlined access. Then AWS SSO integration. So integrate AWS SSO with external identity providers, IDPs, simplifies user management by allowing the organizations to leverage existing identity system. So you have to integrate with your existing infrastructure and with the, let's say, the other cloud providers also. And this integration enables a seamless user experience, offering centralized access control access, means all integrated application services, which streamlines the administration of user identities and permissions can be accessed. And you can integrate with external IDPs. So in contrast, integrating with external IDPs may require more complex setup. So your organization may face challenges in managing fragmented access across various systems. So if you're merging with the company, say definitely there is an external integration and it has a potential of complicating user authentication and authorization process. So this can lead to increased administrative overhead and a more cumbersome process. But anyway, you can do either of them. Then what are the security considerations? Implementing robust security measures, it is crucial for protecting user data. So what are the security? 75% of security breaches involve the stolen credentials. So if you do not follow this, then your credentials, username, passwords can be leaked. 30 days, it is the recommended audit frequency for user permissions. So you have to maintain a regular auditing because without regular auditing, definitely your company is at risk. Then 100% of AWS SSO sessions can be protected with MFA or the multi-factor authentication. Now, what are the use cases for AWS SSO? Now, AWS single sign-on provides effective solutions for various organizational needs. First of all, onboarding new employees. Now, AWS SSO facilitates the onboarding process by providing new employees with immediate access to all necessary resources. So definitely, it actually reduces the time and increases productivity. Then merging organizations that I was talking about. During mergers, AWS SSO allows for a seamless integration of access management and it ensures that users from different organizations can actually easily access resources. So if there is a federation trust, say between Microsoft and Cisco, then what will happen? The Cisco will access the resources of the Microsoft and vice versa. That is also the purpose of the SSO. Remote work. With the rise of remote work, AWS SSO offers secure access to applications from any location. and it allows employees to work effectively and securely from home or on the go. So you can actually do the work from home, and also you can connect to the SSO. Now these are the use cases, and we can conclude that AWS SSO and Identity Federation streamline access across diverse applications, and it allows users to authenticate once and gain secure entry to their cloud services and resources. So that is the theory part behind the AWS SSO, and then I can take you to the console. So that is the AWS console you are having, and this is identity and access management, where you can actually create the user groups and normal the permissions you can do. So what you can do, you can create user, or I'll not create user right now, I'll go to the identity providers rather, because SSO is there in the identity providers, and AWS IAM Identity Center makes it easy to centrally manage access to multiple AWS accounts, and it provides users with single sign-on access. You can actually also read the documentation that is there. I found in the AWS at Amazon.com. So they have the detailed documentation of the what is SSO, single sign-on. It is an authentication solution that allows users to log in to multiple applications on the website with one-time user authentication. So all these things are there, and they are given a very good diagram also. Like AWS SSO gives you access to the AWS console, as well as business cloud applications, like you have deployed the Office 365, that also you can log in. Then custom SAML applications, and also the on-premise AD. So this is the most vital part, that from the on-premise AD you can also integrate to the existing infrastructure of the AWS. So you can actually create a federation trust between the entities. So let's say there is on-premise Microsoft Active Directory account. So for that SSO, you can actually create a trust between the Active Directory account and the AWS. So it strengthens the password security, improves productivity, and reduces cost. So now, how does SSO work? These things we have already discussed. This SSO token, process generation, this already we have discussed this. So in the identity providers, what you can do, you can add the provider, and you can have this SAML, means establish trust between your AWS account and a SAML 2.0 compatible identity providers, such as this Active Directory Federation services. So you should have the Active Directory Federation services configured before, and this is the SSO. Mainly it is a software based or a development based, you can say, because you have to program it, and then definitely you have to choose a file. You have to give a provider name. Say the provider name is Cisco, and so the AWS is actually building a trust relationship with the Cisco. Now definitely the metadata document needs to be uploaded. So this is a metadata, means that metadata generally means what time a file was created, what is the size, what are the encryption types, these things. So you have to actually make this metadata available, and you have to choose the file. Definitely we do not have the file right now, but you have to upload the file if you want to do this trust. And SML encryption means SML encryption is optional. You can use it to set up later, and specify the private key you want IAM to use for decrypting the SML assertion. So what does it mean? It means the private and public key. As we know that public key is used for the encryption, and the private key is used for the decryption. So this PKI, or the public key integrity, public infrastructure, that can also be used here, but it is optional. If you want to use, you have to upload the private key file. So this time you have to upload the metadata document, and only you can access it. But right now we will not do it, and we will go back to the IAM. And this is the IAM dashboard. As you can see, this is a normal IAM, and within this you have this SSO. So these IAM resources that we know, and also you can have this MFA, multi-factor authentication. So that is also a very integral part of this. It means that it is not only having only one factor or two factor authentication that we normally see in the Google or any provider, but it is having multiple factors. Means you have to integrate your account. Like I have integrated with my account to this Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator app that is installed in my mobile. So what you can do that you can authenticate and you can actually log in through that app. So they will be generating the random the keys, the multiple keys will be there, so that you have to enter and it will change. So definitely if somebody accesses one key, somebody captures, definitely he or she will not be able to hack into your account. So you have to manage the access keys and design admin center is successor to the AWS single sign-on. Previously, it was known like that, and definitely it is actually giving the option to enable that. So your security credentials are actually saved here, and your MFA multi-factor authentication that is enabled. So you have to assign the MFA device, and you can create the access keys. So everything you can do. So continue to create access keys and you can create the access keys. So these are the access keys that will be used to actually log into the account with the SSO. And these are used in many cases in the database retrieval also you can use. So you can have this access key and not much will be charged, I think, for this access keys. So once you use these access keys, only then it will be charged. So this is the different things that is there, and users already know that you can create the IAM users. We have seen it before also, that you can create a user and you can log into the console. So you can actually make an user, this is 123 or any user, and provide user access to the AWS management console. It is optional, but make sure you give this permission, otherwise the user won't be able to log into the console. And specify user in identity center, that is recommended. So if you are using the identity center, then you have to choose this option, or otherwise if you want to create only the IAM user, to actually give permission to the IAM roles like EC2 instance launch or S3 bucket launch or any such thing that I already shown you before. So in that case, you want to create an IAM user and you have to either go for the auto generate password or you have to create the custom password. But this time, I will go for the specify user in identity center here to provide console access to a person, and click on next, and this will take you to the AWS Identity Center console, and click on the manage identity center, and the same console will be there. So that is the AWS Identity Center console that you are having. You can configure identity provider, you can create users and groups, everything you can do, and you can enable it. It will ask you the region, and if you enable now, then uh, definitely you can actually just click on enable. So you have created the center, and within that the same thing has come, but that is your private identity center that has become. And you can have the users, you have successfully created the organization instance of IAM identity center. You have to create this instance, only then you can map the trust with this user groups, actually the same thing. And also the multi account permissions, you will see your AWS accounts. So many things you will see inside your AWS Identity Center. Okay, so these things you will see, and also the settings. You have to go to the Identity Center settings, and also you can see the details of your organization. So everything you can see. You can even go to the authentication, and there you go. The standard authentication is enabled. Otherwise, you can go for the multi-factor authentication also. So everything we have already seen. And trusted token issuers, so like that token that I was telling you, like that ticket granting ticket, that token reimburse. So that way also you can create the trusted token issuer. So many things are there. So this SSO, maybe it is not a very big topic, but definitely it is a topic. There's a very interesting topic that you have to do some R&D, and then you can incorporate this SSO. So this identity center, make sure that you disable the identity center also later, because otherwise it is chargeable, and definitely will not be able to pay the charge without any use. So definitely if you want to have the use, definitely you keep it enabled, otherwise you disable it. So these are the different type of options that you can configure, and all this together makes the cloud very secure AWS account. And as you know that I always say security is paramount to the cloud. And for the AWS Solution Architect Associate certification and also AWS security specialization, this topic is a very important one. So that is it about the AWS SSO and Identity Federation for now. And I thank you all for watching and joining this webinar once again. And I have a very good news for you. I made a question actually, and that has a 10 question. And if you give 8 correct answers at least, you will be eligible for a certificate. And that certificate will be invaluable for your career in the cloud. And the cloud technology is on the sky high today, and the market is very high, and the job prospects is very high also. So definitely you should go for the certificate. And I have also another news. If you enroll yourself for the any course today, then you will get a flat 10% discount for today. And as a very senior cloud trainer and the network trainer, I can personally guide you for these certifications for the Solution Architect Associate and other certifications as well. And as you know, the AWS market share is the highest, and AWS is the highest at the rank of the cloud provider. Definitely you should go for all the AWS certifications. And I hope that this webinar has given you immense knowledge, so that you can incorporate this knowledge in your examination, you can achieve the goal, and also in the your enterprise level also you can achieve these results by actually implementing these practicals. So that is about the AWS SSO and Identity Federation for now, and I will come with some new topic next time. Till then, keep studying and bye.